The vice of abduction that has been exercised by Ruto's regime has seen Kenya being put on the world map as a haven for abductions. Now, this is to say that you don't have the freedom to speak or to express yourself. Like Ruto's regime is using fear to curtail the ability of Kenyans to fight for the democracy. And as we saw yesterday, various leaders, including church leaders, came to condemn such abductions, especially after the recent 3 abductions that have been happening, because people are becoming vocal because the government is not working for the people, and that should not intimidate us. We should continue speaking. The fact that they are doing these abductions just means that they are really getting the message. Nonetheless, Eugene Wamalwa also come clean to condemn such abductions by saying that why abduct people due to bad policies that you put in place. For instance, we could see the education sector that is crumbling, the help funding model that was scrapped off and introducing a new one, and the court has already said that that should be scrapped off, like forcing the Bill Gates vaccination. You saw the other day the controller of budget did say there is no budget for this vaccination, and this vaccination is probably being funded by Bill Gates. For what purpose? Yet these farmers have been doing vaccinations to their livestock ever since. Why now that the government wants to come through the back door? What is it that this government is not telling us? Anyway, let us listen in to what Eugene Wamalwa got to say about this.
Our message today is that Bwana Ruto should start addressing the issues being raised by Kenyans. Abducting Kenyans, killing Kenyans will not resolve the issues, because Kenyans will not be intimidated to say no to bad policies. Kenyans are saying NHIF was working. Why did you come to force Shah or she on them? Kenyans are saying the old university funding model was working. Why have you forced a new funding model that has now been thrown out by the courts? Kenyans are saying they have been vaccinating their animals against rinderpest, against other diseases. Why are you forcing the Bill Gates vaccines on them now? These are the issues we want you to address. And when we criticize your policies, you should not start calling the opposition names.
Well, the church has not also been left behind, as they also say that this spree of abductions, which are state sanctioned, should stop, and mere satire of people criticizing the government on social media is not a reason enough for the government to abduct persons. Just the other day, the IG of police just said that the people who are abducting persons are not police officers. Therefore, it is my urge for you Kenyans, if you see anyone being abducted by non-uniformed police, kindly block those vehicles and let us continue doing what we call citizen arrest. Otherwise, this is a clip on how various religious leaders have condemned this issue of state-sanctioned abductions.
Abduction ama watu kuzolewa au kushikwa kwa sababu ya msimamo fulani au kujieleza kwa uwazi, I think ni jambo limepitwa na wakati.
Kenyans, sometimes we can be very cruel to each other. And I want to say this is a moment that we have to revisit and review our own relationship with one another.
Whoever has wrong, let that person be arrested in daylight, brought to the court of law, and whatever wrong will be established, and the person will be arraigned according to what they have done, not according to what we don't know.
Kumbuka wakati wa ukoloni, haya ndio yalikuwa yanatokea. Mtu unadhaniwa wewe, hata umewaza, umedhani, na unachukuliwa, unapelekwa kuumizwa, kufungiwa na kadhalika. Tunamsihi rais, kama ndiye anajua wanahusika, au kama yeyote yule anayenisikiliza wakati huu, it is bringing us back many years before independence.
Dr. Miguna, who is also very vocal and very perennial in advocating for human rights and fighting for what is rightful for the Kenyans has also broken his silence by saying that the abductions that Ruto's regime is doing are totally out of order. And he says that by calling Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Ruto, they are tyrants, they are despots, they are people who want to cling on to power. These are not my words, though I have paraphrased them. Now, Miguna tells Kenyans that we should not even wait for the elections to be conducted in 2027. We should make sure that William Samoei Ruto is taken out of power, because if we don't do so, they will try and impose leaders for the next 100 years, which will take a long time to liberate the nation. He says that this is the time that Kenyans should stand up against in arms and make sure that they fight for the rightful space of democracy, of expression, the rightful belongings, the right to own things, the right to good governance, the right to good health, in simple terms. Let us listen into the general as he speaks.
Kenyans have died struggling to have a free and democratic society. Kenyans have died and have suffered, have been tortured and detained, fighting just to be human beings, to live in dignity like anybody else in the world. But we've reached a stage where a government that was supposed to provide all the services that people need, to provide the security that people need, to provide housing, to provide healthcare, to provide education, to provide an environment where we can thrive, has turned against the people. And the leading person doing this is Ruto, facilitated by Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta and their cronies.
Well, again, this is my take. President William Ruto, why is it that when people talk ill or they express themselves concerning this regime, they are abducted? I mean, that picture or cartoon that was showing the president dead in a casket is a literature interpretation for those who know that that is representing a dead regime, a failed state, a dead government. We don't have a republic. That is the truth. And again, why are they so agitated when somebody try to allude that they are dead? Because essentially that is what it is. President, if you will be performing, if you will be doing your due mandate as permitted by the Constitution of Kenya, nobody will be fighting you. We are in a new era where we can demonstrate in various platforms and you cannot curtail. What if all of us take that picture and post it in all our X platforms, post it in all our Facebook, and on our social media handles? Will they come for all of us? It is time, one for all and all for one. We should be here to protect each other. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Durb Radio. If you love content of this nature and you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow us for regular updates. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Durb Radio ndio mpango mzima.